Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Enterprise project with Down-to-Earth Astronomy. If you watched the last episode, you'll know that we are building the sources section of the USS Enterprise. This is about as far as I come so far. I can, for instance, see here that I managed to mess up some of these struts, but we will probably have to rebuild this, because we're thinking, if we take a look at the underside of the sources section, we can see that to about half the radius, it goes in just straight in, after which it then domes out to this like small dome, pretty much similar to what we have up on top. Now that means that I will probably need, I could just build that out in one go, but I'm considering building some kind of anchoring point. I'm not really sure if I actually need it. I should be able to just use these tanks because they're actually pretty well aligned with the underside. So I think what I'll do is, I don't know if I should build it from the inside out or from the outside in. That's the question right now. You know what, let's try to build it from the outside and in this time. I think that might be slightly easier. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and we're going to find... Frame rate is already not amazing, so it's probably... You know what we should do first? We should flip this thing on its head. Like so. Much better. And now we should be able to take these and then place them like there. There we go. And now it should be a simple matter of just tilting this down so that it lays flat. We can see it's a little bit too far down. We get these lines poking through, so we're just gonna slightly translate this up just like that. Actually, we can translate a little bit more up, I guess, so it becomes a little bit more flush with the edge there. That looks about right to me in terms of radius if we compare to the picture. Okay, I think this is about as good as at least the base structure this is going to get. We'll have to figure something out, and I had a few ideas here when it comes to building the center small hub here. Now it has to be fairly flat, so we have to find something we can use as a nose cone that is fairly flat. Okay, I just had what I think is a wonderful idea. So you can see I'm beginning to build this up, and it's not, it's going not quite as I've hoped. Let's try to save this, but I came up with another idea. Let's take all of this off. I'm going to keep the horizontal plates. And what I'm then going to do is, can I take... Yes, I can take this one off. Let's just park that there. And then I had an idea, like, what would happen if we just, like, placed a fairing in here, expanded it out to as wide as it would go, and then we let that build the dome like so. I mean, we have that exploded view of it, but that's a pretty decent dome. Now all I have to do is just tilt these plates up slightly so that they will touch this dome. And that's pretty much it. There we go. Look at that. Okay, let's figure out where's the front of this thing now. Okay, it's here. Hold on, I still need to tie those down. They have not yet been... they've not yet had... there we go. Can still get inside. They haven't had struts on, so... Strut that thing there. And there we have it. That is... I mean, you still have that exploding thing. But that is a finished sources section, I think. Well, almost finished. We're actually not quite there yet. I'm really excited to see how this thing performs. If my computer's gonna crash when we take this out. Okay, getting there slowly. So you can see we have reaction reels now all around the perimeter. And look at this. That came out really, really nice. I am so pleased with that. I think one of the last things I want to have reaction reels now. We want to like stock it up on batteries. So I'm just gonna open up a few more cargo bays around the ship. And I'm gonna stack those full of batteries. It is gonna make it heavy, I know, but we'll probably need the power to power all these reaction wheels. I should say also added thrusters, RCS thrusters up here. I have no idea if it's nearly enough. We're gonna do a test flight pretty soon. So, but I've used these, what are they even called? Like the Venera engines, because they work as RCS, they count as RCS, but they use They use like liquid fuel oxidizer compared to the other one. They use monopropellant. That means I don't have to carry monopropellant. I can just use the normal fuel, which we already have a pretty large surplus of. So that should be okay. Gonna place it upright like that. Gonna check our staging. Staging looks good. And then we're gonna put on some, where are these? Like the docking clamps. Is that what they're called? I think it is. So we're gonna put on some of these just to keep it stable. And then we're just gonna strap like a ton of big rockets to to the side of it, and they're gonna help us lift this thing off the ground. Like so. Okay, so now we have the docking clamps in place. Let's begin to put on some kind of thrusters. And again, these are just to get it off the ground. So they just like strap something to the side. It doesn't really matter what it is, just anything will do. So here we have the monstrosity. We have these huge rockets on the outside. I thought like a few struts would hold it in place, but no. No, that was clearly not the case. Oh. I think it is holding up this time. Nope. Nope, something is exploding. No, there we go. You know what? I'm gonna try something. It actually held up for like a few seconds there. Nope, that's not gonna work either. I hope I could scroll out so that I didn't have to render the parts in so high detail and just right away stage the first set of rockets to try and stabilize the structure. Okay. I think we have to rethink this quite significantly. Because... okay, hold on. Let's do one more test. I want to do one more test here. Hold on, is that... oh, it's because it's clipping into the ground. Look at that. Was that it? So all I had to do was just take and lift this up like so. Oh yeah, look at that. It's actually holding together now, ish. Until you stop the thrusters, at which point it just rips itself to shreds. Okay, so... okay, so now it's on the landing pad just on its own. And it looks gorgeous. I really love it. I just want to see if it can actually hold up if I fire up the thrusters. No. So as soon as I fire up the thrusters, everything just begins to explode. And I think I know what it is that's causing the issues. Let's head back to the hangar and let's have a look at it. Because I think I know what the problem here is. I think I have some rather serious design flaws in my plan here. Okay, here we are. So I think the main issue is the fact that I've built this surface here of like separate plates, right? And all these plates, they are overlapping in places. As you can see here, they are overlapping each other slightly to give that kind of illusion of a of like one solid piece. Doesn't look like that solid piece, but you get my point. And I think what happens is that if it just sits there on its own, it's fine. But as soon as I fire up the thrusters, it begins to propagate that force down through those plates. They begin to crash into each other. And then all these plates here begin to get destroyed. And once all these plates they get destroyed, next thing that happens is that the ring suddenly becomes unstable. Because that's being compressed now. All the load that was previously supposed to be somewhat handled by this inner structure is now only being handled by the outer ring. Which is also consisting of fairly large sections that are not like interconnected with that are interconnected with struts, and like all that stress just means that like joints begin to explode and things just goes horribly wrong. So I think basically another thing here. Look at this. If we go in here and we find the craft here. This is actually an autosave we have of it, but I also have the actual saved here. This is over 700, almost 800 parts, and this is just the saucer section. I think that this is too big. I might have overdone it slightly. And here's what I'm thinking. I really like the way that it came out with the fairing in there. So I was considering, we're gonna save this, right? So we're gonna save this as keep this, but I was actually considering restarting and just do like a quick test where we use the fairings as the main structure. That's gonna reduce our part count significantly, and we're going to avoid that problem we have with all these plates colliding. So I think what I'll do is I'll start a new craft, and we're just gonna very quickly do a test to see what we can do if we go with that tactic instead. Okay, so new prototype. It's far from as far as the other model got before I pretty much feel like I had to scrap it, but it is, when it loads, hopefully loads. Come on, no, yeah, there we go. It does look pretty good, I think. You can clearly see I'm missing pieces in here in the middle, but and there's like some tank again. Fine tuning is needed, okay? So I'll have to slice that back a little bit, and that will probably also pull this in a little bit, which probably wouldn't hurt, to be honest. So pull those tanks back, but you can kind of get the structure here, and I actually really like this. Like the flat top here. I think originally it was like declining slightly, but I kind of like it being all flat. And the more pointy bottom here. Again, this has to be adjusted. It's a little bit too pointy. I can see now that I get it out here, so I have to flatten that out a little bit as well. But this type of structure here is a lot more simple. I mean, how many pieces are in here? Let me just quickly count them. So that's 27 parts as far as I can count right now. And then, of course, I would have to add 8 extra cargo bays around the edge. And like then we come on to engines and lights and batteries and all that stuff that I also had before. But still, I'm pretty sure I could reduce the part count from the previous model, which was 700, like almost 800 parts, down to this one being probably less than 50 when I'm done, making it a lot easier to handle for the computer, less likely to randomly explode. I mean, I'm pretty sure if I stuck some decent engines on this, I could almost fly this. You know what? I'm just gonna quickly make these small fine adjustments, smack some engines on it, and see how this actually flies. Okay, a quick refit where I just apparently managed to mess things up more than I actually did before, so it's even more. Well, anyway, that's not important. I managed to squeeze some engines in there in the back. I haven't actually tested if they will actually work at all, or will not work. It'll probably work, but if they're actually gonna clip into the fuselage and make things explode. Let's just set up our staging group. Let's see if they make things explode here. Yeah. Yeah, engines definitely makes things explode. Okay. 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 Let's refit those engines in a slightly more, well, should we sort of say suitable position? Let's try that again. This time I'm going to remember to open up the cargo hatch, which was of course what I had forgot. So, gonna give this another go and see if, okay. Same result. Things explode left and right away. Because I made the build so much smaller now, that means that I have to angle these cargo bays a lot more for them to just somewhat fit where they were before. You can see when I open these, there's not a whole lot of, I mean, they pretty much cover up half of it. So I have to mount the engines all the way down here towards the bottom. And it still causes issues, and I think they clip into, and the engines will hit this, the cargo bay here. So I might have to come up with another solution for that. So we're probably going to begin to deviate a little bit away from my original plan by making something that is as close to what it originally looked like. But this is going to be, well, just be like free drawing some free drawing and Enterprise, maybe not a specific model, but anyway, scope and reduction. Now that I have to reduce the size, it's going to be a lot more difficult to find parts that's going to fit and make it look nice. But anyway, I think this is maybe the finished saucer section, for now at least. As I said, things might change again. But thanks a lot for watching. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you want to continue this small project that has now become a little more smaller than it was before, go down and hit the subscribe button, because there will definitely be more. Thanks a lot for watching, guys, and until next time, I will see you guys in space.